My beloved soul, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. This is not just another message you randomly stumbled upon. No, this is your confirmation. Yes, your confirmation. The very prayer you whispered last night. The one you thought disappeared into silence. The one you barely had the strength to speak. Heaven heard every single word of it. And right now, at this exact moment, you are standing at the edge of an answer that has already been released. You didn't imagine it. That heaviness you felt before you went to sleep, that sudden urge to speak softly into the darkness, that quiet plea no one else could hear. That was the moment everything shifted. While you were resting, something powerful was happening in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael himself stepped forward as a protector over your request, guarding the answer that was being prepared specifically for you. Listen carefully, because this is where it becomes urgent. The timing of this message is not a coincidence. There is a divine window open right now, and it is not going to stay open forever. Before 11:59 p.m., this is not just a time on a clock. This is a spiritual marker, a line between what was and what is about to be. You are being called to recognize it, to step into it, and to receive what has already been set in motion. Something unusual is happening around you, even if you haven't noticed it yet. Small shifts, subtle signs of feeling you can't quite explain. That's because the answer to your prayer is not coming in a loud, dramatic way at first. It begins quietly, just like your prayer did. God is aligning people, circumstances, and outcomes in a way that only He can. And if you ignore this moment, you may miss the very confirmation you've been begging for. But you were not brought here by accident. Out of millions of voices, this message found you. Out of all the noise in the world, you were guided here, right now, at this exact second. That means something. That means you are chosen to hear this before the window closes. Archangel Michael is urging you to stay alert, to keep your spirit open, and to prepare your heart. Because what is coming is not just an answer. It is a turning point. The prayer you whispered was not small. It carried weight. It carried emotion. It carried faith, even if it felt fragile. And heaven responded immediately. You are closer than you think. Closer than you have ever been. The breakthrough, the clarity, the shift, it's all within reach now. But you must not dismiss this as coincidence. This is your sign. This is your moment of recognition. Something is about to be revealed, something that will make you look back at last night and realize that with the beginning of everything changing. Stay with this message. Do not look away, because what comes next will open your eyes to what has already begun. Listen closely, because what you are about to understand will change the way you see your prayers forever. Not all prayers are spoken loudly. Not all prayers are filled with perfect words. Some of the most powerful prayers are the ones whispered in weakness, the ones spoken when your voice trembles, when your heart feels heavy, and when you think no one is truly listening. But heaven listens differently than the world does. God does not measure your prayer by its volume. He measures it by the sincerity of your soul. Last night was not ordinary for you. There was a weight in your spirit that you could not ignore. Something pushed you to speak, even if it was just a whisper. That moment was sacred. It was real. And what you didn't realize is that the quieter your voice became, the louder your spirit spoke in the heavenly realm. Every word you released carried a frequency of faith, even if doubt tried to surround it. Archangel Michael stood as a witness to that moment, not only as a protector, but as a messenger who recognized the urgency behind your words. When your prayer left your lips, it did not fall into emptiness. It rose with purpose. It moved through layers you cannot see, crossing barriers that only divine authority can open. And as it reached its destination, something shifted instantly. There are times when answers are delayed, not denied. But this was not one of those times. Your prayer triggered movement immediately. While you were still processing your emotions, heaven had already begun aligning the response. Decisions were being made. Paths were being redirected. Things that seemed stuck were quietly being rearranged in your favor. You may be wondering, if my prayer was answered so quickly, why haven't I seen it yet? That question is natural. But here is the truth. Just because something is not visible does not mean it is not active. The answer to your prayer began forming the moment you released it. But manifestation requires alignment. And alignment takes precise orchestration. Think about it this way. When a seed is planted, it does not break through the ground instantly. It grows beneath the surface first. It builds strength where no one can see it. Your prayer is in that stage right now. It is growing, expanding, preparing to reveal itself in a way that will not only answer your request but exceed your expectations. Archangel Michael is guiding this process with precision. He is ensuring that what comes to you is protected, that no interference disrupts what God has already approved. There were things working against you before, delays, confusion, unseen resistance, but those barriers are being removed. One by one, they are falling away. And this is why you feel something different today. Maybe you can't fully explain it, but there is a shift in your energy. A quiet sense that something is changing. That is not your imagination. That is confirmation beginning to surface. You are being prepared to recognize your answer. Because sometimes the answer does not look the way you expected it to. It may come through a conversation, an opportunity, a sudden realization, or even a door closing that leads you to a better one. But make no mistake, when it arrives, your spirit will know. Right now, you are standing in the middle of a transition. Behind you is the moment you prayed. In front of you is the moment you receive. And in between is this exact space you are in now, a sacred pause where everything is aligning. Do not doubt what is happening. Do not let fear convince you that nothing has changed. Everything has changed. The moment you whispered that prayer, the process began. And now, you are being called to stay aware, to stay open, and to trust that what is coming is already yours. Because very soon, what was once a quiet whisper will become a clear and undeniable reality. There is something unfolding around you right now that you cannot afford to ignore. The answer you have been waiting for is no longer just forming. It is already in motion. What you are experiencing in this very moment are the first waves of confirmation. They may seem small, almost unnoticeable, but they carry a divine signature that cannot be imitated. This is how heaven works. It whispers before it reveals. It aligns before it announces. You may have already noticed something unusual today. A repeated number, a familiar phrase spoken by someone unexpectedly, a sudden thought that felt too clear to be random. These are not coincidences. These are signals. These are the gentle taps of confirmation meant to awaken your awareness. Archangel Michael is orchestrating these moments carefully, ensuring that you begin to see what has already been set in place for you. Think back to your day so far. Was there a moment that made you pause even for a second? A feeling that something was different, even if you couldn't explain why? That was not your imagination. That was the beginning of your answer making its way into your reality. God does not always send answers in loud, dramatic ways. Sometimes, He allows them to unfold quietly so that your faith can recognize them before your eyes fully see them. Right now, events are aligning behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet fully understand. Conversations are being prepared. Opportunities are being positioned. Even delays you once felt frustrated by are being redirected to serve your outcome. What once seemed like obstacles are now becoming stepping stones. This is the divine rearrangement that follows a sincere prayer. Archangel Michael is standing as your protector during this transition. He is ensuring that what is meant for you reaches you without distortion or interference. There were forces that tried to delay this, to confuse you, to make you doubt your own prayer. But those forces are losing their hold. They are being pushed back, cleared away, removed from your path. What remains is clarity. What remains is truth. What remains is your answer. And here is something you must understand deeply. Confirmation does not always come as a single event. It often comes in layers. One sign leads to another. One moment of clarity leads to a stronger realization. This is how your spirit is being prepared to fully receive what is coming. If everything appeared at once, it might overwhelm you. So instead, heaven is revealing it step by step, allowing your faith to grow with each sign. You are not alone in this process. Even if you feel isolated, even if no one around you understands what you are going through, there is divine presence surrounding you. There is guidance, protection, and direction being given to you in ways you cannot physically see but can spiritually feel. That feeling inside you, the one that says something is happening, that is your confirmation speaking. But you must stay alert. Do not brush these moments aside. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. The more you recognize these signs, the clearer they will become. The more you acknowledge them, the stronger they will appear. This is a partnership between your awareness and divine movement. Something is about to become undeniable. What began as a whisper is building into a revelation. Very soon, you will no longer question whether your prayer was heard. You will see the evidence of it unfolding right in front of you. And when that moment comes, you will remember this exact message. You will remember that you were told to pay attention. Now receive this with your full heart. Type "I receive" the answer in the comments if this is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 6391 has just been activated over your life. And as this confirmation begins to unfold in your reality, understand this. What is happening through you is not meant to stop with you. There are others still whispering prayers in the dark, wondering if anyone hears them. When you step into this moment, when you respond to this divine alignment, you become a vessel that helps carry light to them as well. If your spirit feels moved to support this mission, know that your action becomes a seed sown into countless unseen lives. God says in Luke 6:38, "Give, and it will be given to you." And this is not just a verse, it is a living promise being activated now. If you feel that pull within you, follow it. Use the super thanks or the PayPal link in the description, or even the QR code placed for you. This is your moment to act, to sow, to become part of something greater. And as you give, may doors open for you in ways you never expected. There is a reason your answer did not come when you first expected it. And you need to hear this with clarity, not frustration, because what felt like delay was never denial. It was preparation. It was positioning. It was protection. What you were asking for carried more weight than you realized, and heaven does not release something powerful into a life that is not fully ready to receive it. Think back over the past days, weeks, or even months. There were moments when you felt like nothing was moving. Times when you questioned whether your prayers were being heard at all. You may have even wondered if you were being ignored. But what you could not see was the level of detail involved in preparing your answer. God was not being silent. He was being precise. Archangel Michael was actively working behind the scenes, guarding your path and removing what could have disrupted what you were asking for. There were connections that needed to be adjusted, environments that needed to shift, and internal changes within you that had to take place first. Because sometimes, the answer you are asking for requires you to grow into it before you can hold it. If your prayer had been answered too early, you might not have recognized its value. You might have mishandled it, or even missed it entirely. That is why divine timing is never random. It is intentional. It is exact. And right now, you have reached a point where things are finally aligned enough for your answer to begin appearing in your life. This is what makes this moment so significant. You are no longer in the waiting phase. You are in the receiving phase. And there is a difference between the two. Waiting feels uncertain. Receiving feels active, even if it begins quietly. What you are experiencing now is not stillness. It is movement, even if that movement is subtle at first. There were also battles you didn't know were happening. Resistance that tried to delay what was meant for you. Doubts that attempted to weaken your faith. Situations that seemed confusing or discouraging. Those were not meaningless struggles. They were part of a process where everything that did not align with your prayer had to be addressed and removed. Archangel Michael stood as your defender through those unseen moments. When confusion tried to settle in your mind, he was there pushing clarity back into your spirit. When delays tried to frustrate you, he was working to ensure those delays would not turn into permanent obstacles. And now, because of that protection, you are standing in a space where your answer can safely enter your life. You are not the same person you were when you first spoke that prayer. Even if you don't fully realize it, something within you has shifted. Your perspective has deepened. Your patience has stretched. Your awareness has grown. These changes were necessary, because what you are about to receive requires a version of you that can recognize it, accept it, and move with it. This is why you are being told to stay alert. Not because something random is about to happen, but because something prepared is about to appear. There is a difference. Random events can confuse you. Prepared moments will resonate with you. They will feel right, even if they surprise you. You may notice that things begin to make sense in ways they didn't before. Situations that once felt unclear will suddenly feel obvious. Paths that once seemed blocked will open without force. This is what happens when divine timing meets readiness. Everything begins to flow instead of resist. Do not go back into doubt. Do not question whether this is real. You have already passed through the stage of uncertainty. You are now stepping into clarity. The prayer you whispered was not forgotten. It was being prepared for this exact moment. And now, you are here. Position. Aligned. Ready. What comes next will not feel like coincidence. It will feel like confirmation. There is a hidden truth you must now understand. Something that explains why your journey felt heavier than it should have, why certain moments felt delayed, and why at times you felt like you were pushing forward against invisible resistance. What you were experiencing was not just circumstance. It was a spiritual battle surrounding your blessing. Not every delay is natural. Not every obstacle is random. Some of what you went through was the result of unseen opposition trying to interfere with what God had already planned for you. When you whispered that prayer, it carried authority. It carried intention. And it activated movement not only in heaven, but also in realms that resist change and breakthrough. There were forces that did not want you to reach this moment. Forces that attempted to distract you, to confuse you, to make you doubt yourself at the very moment when your faith mattered the most. That sudden feeling of uncertainty you experienced after praying, that wave of overthinking that tried to cloud your clarity, those moments when you almost gave up. That was not coincidence. That was resistance. But here is what you must hold on to. None of it succeeded. Because the moment your prayer was released, Archangel Michael stepped into position as your defender. His role was not just to witness your prayer, but to ensure that what was assigned to you would not be stolen, delayed beyond its time, or distorted before reaching you. He stood between you and what tried to block your path. There were battles you never saw, decisions being overturned in your favor, negative outcomes being redirected, situations that could have gone wrong quietly being corrected before they even reached you. This is the level of protection that has been surrounding your life. And now, that battle is ending. The resistance that once stood in your way is losing its strength. The confusion that once clouded your thoughts is clearing. The weight that once made everything feel difficult is lifting. This is why you feel a shift now. This is why something inside you feels lighter, even if your situation hasn't fully changed yet. Because the war over your answer is being settled. You must understand this clearly. Your blessing was never canceled. It was contested. And now, it has been secured. This is why things are beginning to move again. Slowly but surely, the path is opening. What once felt blocked is now becoming accessible. What once felt uncertain is now becoming clear. And what once felt distant is now drawing closer to you with every passing moment. But there is something important you must do right now. Do not reopen doors that have already been closed for your protection. Sometimes, after a battle ends, there is a temptation to go back to what felt familiar, even if it was not meant for you. Do not fall into that trap. What has been removed from your life was removed for a reason. Trust the process that brought you here. Trust the protection that has guided you. And most importantly, trust the answer that is now making its way into your reality. Archangel Michael is still standing with you, but now his role is shifting. He is no longer just defending, he is guiding, leading you forward into what has been secured for you, helping you recognize the right path, the right moment, and the right decision. You may notice that certain things no longer feel aligned with you. Conversations may feel different. Environments may feel off. This is not confusion. It is clarity. You are being pulled away from what does not belong in your next chapter. Because what is coming requires space. Space for new opportunities. Space for new connections. Space for the answer you prayed for to fully enter your life without interference. This is why some things had to end, why some doors had to close, and why some paths had to shift. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every delay, every challenge, every moment of doubt, they all served a purpose in bringing you to this exact point. And now, you are no longer fighting for your answer. You are stepping into it. There is a reason this message carries urgency, and it is something you cannot afford to overlook. When you heard the words before 11:59 p.m., it may have sounded symbolic or even dramatic, but it is neither random nor exaggerated. It represents a divine window, a sacred period of alignment that is currently open in your life. And like all spiritual windows, it does not remain open forever. Right now, you are standing within a moment that has been carefully prepared. Everything you have gone through, the waiting, the questioning, the battles, the quiet growth, has led you to this exact point. This is not just about receiving an answer. This is about recognizing the moment when that answer becomes accessible to you. Time, in the spiritual realm, does not function the way it does in the natural world. What feels like a simple hour or a passing day can carry deep significance when it aligns with divine timing. Before 11:59 p.m. is not simply a deadline. It is a closing of a cycle, a transition point between what has been held back and what is about to be released. This means that your awareness right now matters more than ever. There are moments in life when things unfold slowly, giving you time to adjust, to think, to prepare. But there are also moments like this, moments that require you to be alert, present, and ready. Because what is being offered is not forced upon you. It must be recognized. It must be received. Archangel Michael is urging you to stay spiritually awake. Not in fear, not in pressure, but in awareness. Because when a divine window opens, it often brings subtle opportunities, small decisions, quiet nudges, unexpected chances that seem ordinary on the surface but carry extraordinary impact beneath. You may be guided to take a step you didn't expect. You may feel an urge to act, to respond, to move in a direction that feels different from your usual pattern. Do not ignore that feeling. That is not impulse, that is guidance. The urgency you feel is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to awaken you. There is something aligning for you that requires your participation. Yes, the answer to your prayer has been prepared, protected, and set into motion. But you still have a role to play in receiving it. You must be willing to recognize it when it appears. You must be open enough to accept it, even if it comes in a form you did not expect. Sometimes, the greatest opportunities are missed not because they weren't present, but because they weren't recognized in time. This is why you are being told to pay attention now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. You may notice that certain moments today feel more significant than usual. Conversations may carry deeper meaning. Simple events may feel more important than they should. That is because you are in a heightened period of alignment. Things are being positioned in real time. Do not delay your response to what you feel in your spirit. If something feels right, move toward it. If something feels off, step back from it. Your discernment is sharper right now than you realize. Trust it. This is also a moment of decision. Not a forced decision, but a natural one. Will you remain in doubt, questioning whether anything is truly happening? Or will you step into awareness, recognizing that this is your confirmation and acting accordingly? Because once this window closes, the opportunity itself does not disappear, but the ease, the alignment, the flow of this moment shifts. Things may take longer. Paths may become less clear. That is why this moment is so valuable. Archangel Michael is not warning you. He is guiding you. He is standing beside you, pointing toward the opening that has been created specifically for you. All you have to do is step into it. You are not being rushed. You are being invited. And this invitation carries power. Right now, you are closer than ever to seeing your prayer fully manifest. The door is not just opening, it is already open. The question is, will you walk through it in time? There is something you must be prepared for, because when your answer finally appears, it may not look the way you imagined it would. This is one of the greatest reasons people miss their blessing. They expect it to come wrapped in a certain form, in a certain timing, or through a certain person. But God does not always follow the picture you created in your mind. He follows what is best for your purpose. Right now, your prayer is being answered, but the form it takes may surprise you. It may come quietly instead of loudly. It may arrive through something simple instead of something dramatic. It may even appear as a redirection rather than a direct fulfillment. But make no mistake, when it comes, it will carry a clarity that your spirit will recognize instantly. Archangel Michael is guiding you into a deeper level of discernment. This means you are being trained to feel the difference between what looks good and what is truly meant for you. Not everything that appears positive is aligned with your prayer, and not everything that feels unexpected is wrong. This is why your awareness matters so much right now. You may receive an opportunity that seems small at first, but opens the door to something greater. You may experience a sudden shift in a relationship, where distance or change casually protects your future. You may even face a closed door that initially feels disappointing, only to realize later that it was preventing you from walking into something that was never meant for you. These are all forms of answered prayer. The key is not to judge the moment too quickly. Instead, allow yourself to feel it. When something is truly aligned with what you prayed for, it will bring a sense of peace, even if it challenges your expectations. There will be a quiet certainty within you, a knowing that does not need explanation. This is the signature of God's answer. Archangel Michael is helping you tune into that inner knowing. He is guiding you away from overthinking and into trust. Because overthinking will try to analyze everything, to question every detail, to create doubt where there should be clarity. But trust will recognize what is right without needing constant proof. You may also notice that your answer comes in stages. One step leads to another. One moment of clarity leads to a bigger revelation. This is intentional. You are being led, not rushed. Each step is designed to prepare you for the next, so that when the full picture is revealed, you are ready to step into it with confidence. Pay attention to how things feel, not just how they look. There is a difference between something that excites your emotions and something that settles your spirit. Excitement can be temporary. Peace is lasting. And what is meant for you will carry peace, even if it stretches you, even if it challenges you, even if it takes you into unfamiliar territory. Do not be afraid if your answer looks different than what you expected. Sometimes, the version you imagined was too small for what God actually planned for you. Sometimes, what you thought you needed was only a fraction of what is now being prepared. This is why surrender is so important in this moment. Not surrender in the sense of giving up, but surrender in the sense of letting go of control over how your answer should appear. Trust that what is coming is exactly what you need, even if it surprises you. You are being led into something greater than your expectation. And here is something you must hold on to. When your answer arrives, it will not create confusion. It will not leave you feeling lost or uncertain. Even if it challenges you, even if it requires you to step out of your comfort zone, there will be a deep sense of rightness within it. That is how you will know. Archangel Michael is not only protecting your answer, he is helping you recognize it. He is guiding your thoughts, your intuition, and your awareness so that when the moment comes, you do not miss it. And that moment is closer than you think. Very soon, you will look at something in your life and realize this is it. This is what I prayed for. This is what was being prepared for me all along. Stay open. Stay aware. Stay ready. Because your answer is not just coming. It is already here, waiting for you to recognize it. There is something powerful happening now. Something that goes beyond a single sign or a single moment of clarity. What you are stepping into is a second wave of confirmation. And when heaven repeats something, it is not by accident. It is emphasis. It is certainty. It is God making sure that you do not miss what has already been spoken over your life. You may have already received a subtle nudge earlier, a quiet feeling, a small sign that made you pause. But now, the confirmation is becoming stronger, more noticeable, more direct. This is how divine communication works when something is important. It does not rely on one signal. It builds layers until your spirit can no longer ignore it. Archangel Michael is intensifying your awareness in this moment. He is guiding your attention toward what matters, helping you see beyond distractions, and drawing your focus toward what is aligned with your prayer. Because right now, clarity is increasing. What once felt uncertain is beginning to make sense. You may notice repetition in your environment. The same message appearing in different forms. The same idea being spoken by different people. The same feeling returning to you again and again. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation being reinforced. When something is repeated in your life during a spiritual alignment, it is a signal to pay attention. It is a sign that what you are seeing or feeling is not random. It is intentional. It is part of the answer unfolding before you. And here is something you must understand deeply. This second wave of confirmation is also a moment of decision. Not a forced decision, but a natural one that comes from awareness. You are being shown something clearly now. You are being guided toward a realization. And what you do with that realization matters. Will you accept it or will you question it? Because this is where many people hesitate. They receive signs. They feel the shift. They recognize the alignment. But then doubt steps in. That tries to convince them that it is too good to be true, that they are imagining things, that they should wait for something more obvious. But this is already obvious. Not to your eyes, but to your spirit. You are being asked to trust what you feel, not just what you see. Because what you feel right now is the truth of what is happening. Your spirit recognizes it before your mind fully understands it. Archangel Michael is standing with you in this moment, not just as a protector, but as a witness. A witness to the confirmation that is unfolding, a witness to the alignment that has been set in motion, and a witness to your response. You are not being left to figure this out alone. You are being guided, step by step, moment by moment. Every sign you see, every feeling you experience, every realization that comes to you, it is all part of a larger picture being revealed. And that picture is becoming clearer now. Something is about to happen that will remove any remaining doubt. Something that will make you stop and realize, without question, that this is real, that your prayer was heard, that your answer is here. But before that moment arrives, you are being given this opportunity to recognize the confirmation early, to step into alignment willingly, and to trust the process that has already begun. This is your second confirmation. Receive it fully. Type "I accept the confirmation" in the comments if you feel this message deep in your spirit. Blessing code 8824 is now activated over your path. And as the second wave of confirmation settles into your heart, understand that what you are experiencing is not just for you. It is part of a greater flow of light reaching others who are still waiting in silence. When you respond to this moment, when you step into alignment, you help open the way for others to recognize their own answers. God says in 2 Corinthians 9:6, "Whoever sows generously will also reap generously." And this is a living invitation being extended to you now. If your spirit is stirred, if you feel that inner pull to take part in something greater, act on it. Use the super thanks or the PayPal link in the description, or the QR code provided in this space. This is not just giving. It is sowing into a movement of divine confirmation. And as you sow, may your own life overflow with unexpected blessings, open doors, and undeniable favor. And now that confirmation has been given, not once, but repeatedly, you are entering a new phase, one that many people underestimate. This is the phase where faith must replace doubt completely. Because receiving a sign is one thing, but responding to it with unwavering belief is something entirely different. You have already been shown that your prayer was heard. You have already felt the shift. You have already begun to see the alignment forming around you. But what happens next depends on how you respond internally. Not outwardly, not for others to see, but within your own thoughts, your own expectations, your own belief. This is where many people unknowingly slow down their own breakthrough. They receive confirmation, but then they question it. They feel the answer coming, but then they hesitate. They recognize the signs, but then they allow doubt to speak louder than faith. And in doing so, they create resistance where there was once flow. You are not being asked to prove anything. You are being asked to trust. Archangel Michael is guiding you into this deeper level of faith because what is about to unfold in your life requires it. The more you trust, the smoother the path becomes. The more you believe, the faster things align. This is not about forcing anything. It is about removing the inner resistance that slows everything down. Right now, your thoughts matter more than you realize. If you continue to think, "What if this doesn't happen?" you create hesitation. If you begin to think, "This is already happening for me," you create momentum. The difference is subtle, but powerful. One creates delay, the other accelerates manifestation. You must choose which voice you listen to. There will always be a voice of doubt. That voice does not disappear. It simply becomes quieter when you stop feeding it. And the way you stop feeding it is by focusing on what you already know to be true. You have received confirmation. You have felt the shift. You have been guided to this exact moment. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. Archangel Michael is reminding you that faith is not about seeing everything clearly before you believe. Faith is about believing so strongly that clarity follows. You are not waiting for proof anymore, you are walking in trust. This is where your power lies. As you move forward, you may notice that your reactions begin to change. Situations that once made you anxious may no longer have the same effect. Uncertainty may begin to feel less overwhelming. This is because your faith is replacing your fear. And when fear loses its influence, everything begins to flow more freely. Opportunities will start to appear more naturally. Decisions will feel clearer. Paths will open without the same level of struggle. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you are no longer resisting what is meant for you. You are aligning with it. There is also something important you must remember. Faith does not mean you will never feel doubt again. It means you will not allow doubt to control your direction. You may feel a moment of hesitation, but you will not stay there. You will return to what you know. You will return to the confirmation you have already received. This is how you move forward with confidence. You are no longer searching for answers. You are walking with the answer already in motion. You are no longer wondering if something will happen. You are preparing for it to fully arrive. This shift in mindset changes everything. Archangel Michael is standing with you, reinforcing your strength, reminding you that you are not alone in this process. Every step you take in faith is supported. Every decision you make in trust is guided. And the more you lean into that guidance, the more clearly you will see the path ahead. Something is about to unfold in a way that confirms everything you have felt up to this point. Something that will make you realize that your belief was not misplaced. It was necessary. But you must hold your position in faith. Do not step back into doubt now. Do not question what has already been confirmed. Stay steady. Stay grounded. Stay aligned. Because what is coming next will respond directly to what you believe in this moment. Now the moment has come where you are no longer just observing what is happening. You are being called to act. Not in fear, not in confusion, but in alignment. Because every answered prayer carries a responsibility. It is not enough to receive confirmation. You must respond to it in a way that allows it to fully unfold in your life. There is a step in front of you right now. It may not be loud or obvious to everyone else, but deep within, you can feel it. A direction. A decision. A movement that feels different from what you have done before. This is not coincidence. This is instruction. Archangel Michael is guiding you toward this step with precision. He is not forcing you, but he is making it clear. You may feel it as a strong inner knowing, a quiet push, or even a sense of urgency that you cannot ignore. That is your spirit responding to divine direction. Do not wait for everything to make perfect sense before you move. This is where faith and action come together. You already have confirmation. You already have alignment. Now, you must take a step forward. It may be something simple, reaching out to someone, making a decision you have been avoiding, letting go of something that no longer feels right, or stepping into an opportunity that feels unfamiliar. Whatever it is, it carries purpose. And here is something important. You do not need to see the entire path to take the first step. Many people delay their own breakthroughs because they wait for full clarity. They want to know exactly how everything will unfold before they move. But that is not how divine guidance works. You are shown one step at a time, and each step reveals the next. If you hesitate now, you slow the process. Not because the answer disappears, but because alignment requires participation. You must meet the moment with action. Archangel Michael is standing with you, strengthening your confidence, removing fear, and guiding your direction. You are not stepping into the unknown alone. You are stepping into something that has already been prepared for you. There may still be a small voice of doubt trying to hold you back. It may say, "What if this is not right?" Or "What if I make a mistake?" But you must recognize that this voice does not come from alignment. It comes from fear. And fear has already lost its authority over your life. You have been protected. You have been guided. You have been brought to this exact moment for a reason. Trust that. You will not miss what is meant for you if you are willing to move with faith. There is also something else happening in this moment. You are being repositioned. The step you take now is not just about receiving your answer. It is about placing you in the exact position where that answer can fully manifest. Think of it like this. You are being moved into alignment with what has already been released for you. The door is open, but you must walk toward it. The path is cleared, but you must step onto it. And once you do, things will begin to move faster. You may notice that once you take that first step, other things begin to fall into place quickly. Opportunities may appear unexpectedly. Clarity may increase. Connections may align. This is because you have activated movement through your action. This is how divine flow works. You are no longer waiting for something to happen. You are participating in what is already happening. So do not hold back now. Do not delay. Do not second guess what you already feel within your spirit. Take the step. Move forward with confidence. Trust that you are being led exactly where you need to go. Because this moment, this exact moment, is where everything begins to shift from preparation into reality. And once you move, you will begin to see just how close your answer truly is. What you are stepping into now is not just an answer, it is a transformation. And this is something you must understand clearly, because when God responds to a sincere prayer, He does not only change the situation, He changes you within it. Very soon, you will begin to notice that things are no longer the same. Not just around you, but within you. The way you think, the way you respond, the way you see opportunities, and even the way you handle challenges will begin to shift. This is not accidental. This is the result of alignment meeting manifestation. The prayer you whispered was not just about solving a problem or receiving something you desired. It was about bringing you into a new level of your life. And that level requires a different version of you. Stronger, clearer, more grounded, and more aware. Archangel Michael has been guiding you toward this transformation from the very beginning. Every delay you experienced, every challenge you faced, every moment of doubt you overcame, it was all shaping you into someone who could carry what is now being released into your life. And now, that release is beginning. You may start to see doors opening that once felt impossible. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach may suddenly feel accessible. Situations that once confused you may now appear simple and clear. This is not luck. This is the result of everything aligning at the right time. But the transformation does not stop there. You will also notice that certain things no longer attract you the way they used to. Old habits, old patterns, even certain people or environments may begin to feel out of place. This is not loss, it is growth. You are being moved into a space where only what aligns with your future can remain. And this is where your awareness becomes important again. Do not try to hold on to what no longer fits. Do not resist the changes that are happening within you. Because every shift you feel is guiding you closer to the life that your prayer was meant to unlock. Archangel Michael is still with you in this process, not just as a protector, but as a guide through this transformation. He is helping you navigate these changes, ensuring that you move forward with clarity instead of confusion. There may be moments where you feel a mix of excitement and uncertainty. That is natural. Here's a vision of a visit mirror at first. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It means new. You are stepping into a new chapter. And in this chapter, things will begin to flow differently. You will find yourself making decisions with more confidence. You will trust your instincts more deeply. You will recognize opportunities more quickly. This is because you are no longer operating from doubt. You are operating from alignment. The answer to your prayer is not just something you receive. It is something you become connected to. And as you step into this connection, you will begin to see how everything you went through was leading to this moment. Nothing was wasted. Every experience had a purpose. Every delay had a reason. Every challenge had a lesson that prepared you for what is now unfolding. Very soon, you will look back and realize that what once felt confusing now makes perfect sense. You will see how things were being arranged in ways you could not understand at the time. You will recognize how protection was working even when you felt uncertain. You will understand that everything was leading you here. This is the beginning of your testimony, not just a story of receiving an answer, but a story of transformation, alignment, and divine timing. A story that you will carry forward, not only for yourself, but for others who are still waiting for their own confirmation. Because what you are experiencing now will become proof. Proof that prayers are heard. Proof that answers are real. Proof that timing matters. And proof that when everything aligns, nothing can stop what has been prepared for you. You are no longer the person who whispered that prayer last night. You are the person who is now stepping into the answer. Peace is settling over you now, even if everything around you has not fully changed yet. That is how you know this is real. Because when God answers, He does not only move circumstances, He calms the spirit first. And what you are feeling right now, that quiet reassurance, that gentle sense that everything is going to be okay, that is your final confirmation. You are no longer searching. You are no longer waiting in uncertainty. You are now resting in the knowing that your prayer has already been heard, answered, and set into motion. What once felt urgent is now becoming peaceful. What once felt heavy is now becoming light. This is the shift. Archangel Michael is still with you, but now his presence feels different. Not as a warning, not as urgency, but as comfort, as protection that surrounds you quietly, as guidance that no longer needs to push because you are already aligned. You have done your part. You whispered the prayer. You stayed through the uncertainty. You listened when confirmation came. You chose faith over doubt. And now, you are stepping into the reward of that faith. There is nothing left for you to chase. What is meant for you is already moving toward you. Let that truth settle deeply within you. From this moment forward, things will begin to unfold naturally. You will not need to force anything. You will not need to struggle the way you once did. What belongs in your life will begin to find its way to you with ease, because you are now aligned with it. And when it arrives, you will recognize it immediately. Not because it will be loud or dramatic, but because it will feel right. It will carry peace. It will carry clarity. It will carry a sense of completion that cannot be explained, only felt. This is how you will know it is your answer. There may still be moments where your mind tries to question what is happening. That is natural. But now, you know better. You have felt the confirmation. You have seen the signs. You have experienced the shift. Return to that knowing whenever doubt tries to speak. You are safe. You are guided. You are protected. And most importantly, you are heard. The prayer you whispered was never lost. It was never ignored. It was never delayed without purpose. It was received. It was answered. And it is now unfolding in your life in ways that are perfectly timed. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to rest in the truth. You do not need to rush anymore. You do not need to worry anymore. You do not need to question anymore. Everything is already being handled. And as you move forward from this moment, carry this peace with you. Let it guide your thoughts. Let it shape your actions. Let it remind you that you are never alone, and that every sincere prayer you speak carries power beyond what you can see. Now receive this final activation. Type "IT is done" in the comments if you accept this truth fully. Blessing code 9907 is now sealed over your life. And as this peace settles into your spirit, understand this: what has just been awakened in you is not meant to stay hidden. There are countless others who are still whispering their prayers in silence, still wondering if anyone hears them. God says in Galatians 6:9, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you will reap." And this is a living call being placed in your hands right now. If you feel the stirring in your heart, say within yourself, "I am part of this mission." Sow into this moment as an act of faith. Use the super thanks or the PayPal link in the description, or the QR code placed before you. This is not just support. It is a prophetic act that releases light into unseen places. And as you give, may your own life overflow with divine increase, unexpected favor, and doors that open without resistance. Step into it now.